Hello guys, welcome back. So this is going to be second video, and yeah, obviously the day two for the Selenium automation, which we are learning from the scratch, and from the day one, we have started working upon the script. We didn't jump over the Java concept or the Selenium concept first. We directly jump to the coding part, and as you all are aware, in the last video itself, we discussed, right? We had a test case. Okay, and we try to write down the script for that. So the test case was succeeded. Okay, and after that video, I have also shared one shot, guys, in the same playlist, and you can find it after going into the channel playlist. Okay, so what I discussed there, I will quickly show you guys. Okay, why we should use this asset class instead of if and else block. Okay, so, for example, our last test case was to check whether the title of the application is visible correctly or not. Okay, Make My Trip is the application which we are working upon. So, if you run this application and with this if and else block, and inside the if we have this test is passed or test is failure. Okay, let it run, guys. Let it run. Okay, so it's running. Some bad network might be. Okay, so as you can see, my expected title was Make My Trip Till One only, and my actual title I have printed over here. Okay, this is the actual title. So these are not same. Okay, these are not same, obviously, but our test case is passing, right? So how to overcome such situation? We have one asset class into the test ng. I will comment out this code, guys. Yeah. So if I uncomment this asset, okay, so what does this asset class do, guys? We have asset equal method inside this class. And with the help of it, we can check whether our actual title, what is our expected title, and whether they are same or not. Okay. So if they are not same, so TestNG will immediately fail the test case and give you the result as this particular test case is failed. Let's run it. Let's run it. And I have commented out this code and uncommented this asset code. And let's see our actual and expected title, which are obviously different, whether they are passing or failing. Okay, now the application is launched. Okay, and our title is populating here, but let's see whether it's matching with our actual title or not. Okay, it's taking longer than usual. Okay, it didn't close the browser. It didn't close the browser, guys. Why? Because driver.close is quite after asset.asset equal. Now you can see it's failing because expectation was make my trip till number one. And what is our actual, actual titles, which we got from the application, which is currently appearing in the application is till here, till holiday. Now, so now what I will do, I will make this actual title as expected title here. Okay. And now let's see whether this asset class is working correctly or not. If I run the test case, let's see, it's running. It's running, guys. Whenever it will be stable, it's running. So now you can see the test case with the actual result and yeah, the expected result both are same. Now test case is passing and driver is also, closing down. Okay, now coming to the second part, okay, and this is going to be a second test case. So how to create a test case, guys, we already discussed in the last video. Public void. Why? Because the method is not going to give anything to this project. Okay, whatever it contains, it will close, it will wrap up down within this method only. Hence, void. Void is a return type. Okay, and for example, if we wanted something like string, okay, or string array or anything from this application, so from this method, so we would be having a return type, okay, for that particular data type. You will enhance your Java skill with the ongoing series. Be with me, be with this channel. Definitely you will gain. Okay. So public is access modifier, which is allowing this method to communicate within the whole project, Learn UI automation. Okay, there are other access modifiers as well. We will utilize them whenever we will discuss about our framework creation. Okay, so public and then void, and public void, and our method name is going to be like validate something title. So this is going to be validate logo, validate application logo. Okay. So my main motto of this particular test case. Okay. Okay. Spell. Okay. So my main motto of this particular test case is let you guys explain. Okay, what web elements are, how do we interact with web elements. Okay, so for example, for this particular test case, if you can see, what are the web elements? So as I discussed in the very first introduction session of this playlist, we discussed, right, how Selenium interact with web browser, how WebDriver interacts with web browser. So we have a browser executable, and that browser executable interacts with the web pages. Okay, the browsers. Okay, but how? For example, if you want to perform any action on this hotel icon, okay, hotel icon, and the text, okay, if I want to create on this login or create account button, then how will my WebDriver, okay, my Selenium script will know, okay, I have to click on over this button, I have to scroll down, I have to scroll up, okay, I have to click on these radio buttons. How this the Selenium will know? Okay, so for this purpose, we have utilized the web elements. These are all web elements which you guys are seeing over your screens. So these are all web elements. So Selenium will utilize these web elements, okay, and will perform some actions like click, whether to check whether it's displayed or not, to enter text with the help of send keys method. I will explain you. But to interact with, this is a medium. Okay, what is the medium? Medium is web elements. Okay, so these web elements will work as a locators. Okay, so that's why we call it as a locator. Okay, where we need to perform the operation. Okay, so the basic agenda of this particular test case of day 2 is to work with web elements. How to work with web elements? What are web elements? Okay, so I will quickly explain you what are web elements. Okay, so locators, as I explained, these are basically the medium which allows to interact with the web browser, which allows WebDriver to interact with the web browsers and screens and web pages. Okay, so basically, this is the screenshot I have captured directly from the Java, okay, from the IDE only. So here you can see these types of locators we can utilize. You can see uh, class name, you can see CSS selector, you can see ID, you can see link text, you can see name, partial link text, tag name, XPath. Okay, so these many locator methods are available to find out the particular web element. Don't go, okay, which is faster, which is slower, which is preferable as of now. I will explain you in the long run. The current agenda is to find out a web element with the help of a locator. Okay, so these many methods are available. Now, what are these methods? What is class? What is CSS? What is ID? What is link text? What is name, partial link text, tag name, and XPath? Okay, so let's go to our application, and if you come up your on over your browser, and if you hit F12, okay, so this dialog box will open, and this dialog box, we call it as a DOM. Okay, and if you select this cursor over here, and if you click somewhere, anywhere, okay, like I have clicked over this icon of flight. Okay, so now here you can see the class attribute is appearing, right? So if you go here and check and click on this class name, if you utilize this class name method, okay, then you can utilize its name, and the WebDriver will interact with this particular element, okay, and will execute. Similarly, ID, okay, so where is ID? Yeah, so you can see there is an element with the input tag. Okay, tag is a separate method we discussed, right? So input is a separate tag, and you can see like the ID with the value as travelers. Okay, this is another look type of locator method we have available, right? So ID is another. I will show you. I will show you, and Yeah, so these are all locators available. There are different type of locators, you guys. So agenda is to find out the elements. Okay, so first of all, let's see if this ID. Okay, let's assume we need to work upon this travelers. Okay, we need to check whether this particular input tag is present, or this web element with the ID equal to traveler is present over our screen or not. This can be a test case. Okay, so what you need to do, you need to go to your browser. Okay, I have explained you the agenda. Agenda is to check. Okay, I will write it down. Agenda is to check, to understand and find web elements. Web elements. Okay, and yeah, so another thing is what we are missing here. We are missing at the rate test annotation provided by testng. If you mouse over here, you will find testng. It's from the package testng.annotation. This is one of the annotation. Okay, now, yeah, this is the test, and what we did then, we set the property. Okay, this is going to be same. We need to launch the browser. This is going to be same. We need to get the makemytrip.com URL. This is going to be same. Till here, I will copy the code and I will paste it here. Okay, steps are remaining same. Now, when an application is launched, I need to validate whether my element is available. Which element? With ID equal to travelers, whether it's available or not. Okay. Now, if I come up here and I will write, I'm playing with this driver object as of now, which I have created from this web driver, new Chrome driver class, taking the reference of web driver. Okay. So I have this web driver object, and if you click driver dot, then you will find out the method. Okay, find element. We need to find out the element. Okay, find element. Exactly. Yes. Now there is a separate class by, which deals with web elements. Okay, so by dot. Okay, so these are the methods available. You can see by class name, by CSS selector, by ID, by link text, by name. Okay, so what ID is requiring? ID method is requiring a string type of input. Okay, and we are going to pass it on. And yeah, so we are going to utilize this ID method. Okay, and we need to find it out an element which is having ID, which is having ID, which is having ID equal to travelers, right? So yeah, okay. So this will find out whether this element is present or not. If the element will not be there, it will throw you an exception. Okay. So far, I will close the browser. Okay. So if this element is not there, it will throw you an exception. So for this purpose, we have a method which is known as is displayed. Okay, and I will close. It will check, the WebDriver object will check whether an element with ID travelers is present over the web page or not. If it is not present, it will give you a error. But if it is present, it will pass up the code and it will move to close the driver. Okay, so this is second test. Now what I will do, I will run my test from here. Validate application logo. Don't worry, guys. This is the separate thing I'm telling you. I'm telling you how to deal with the web elements as of now. Our separate test case is a separate thing. Okay, we will discuss it. So let's run this test first and check whether our method for finding out the element is working fine or not. Okay. Okay, it ran. Yeah, and if you come up here, you can see a test case is pass. Okay, and okay, so this particular traveler ID is displayed. Okay, now yeah, so now jumping to a test case. This is how we deal with the web elements, guys. I will we will discuss web element in the in the next coming days. How to write an XPath and all. XPath we are going to discuss as of now only. But you will get familiar with this web elements, writing down their strategies. There are multiple type of web elements and all. So we will discuss those into detail. Okay. And yeah, so our next test case, which we are going to cover today is to validate the application logo. Okay, open the browser, hit the URL, validate logo of the web page. So what is our web page logo? This is our web page logo, right? Make my trip. Okay, so if you come up here, we need to close this browser down. Yeah, so if you come up here and we need to validate this logo. Okay, okay. So we discuss ID, how to find it an element with the help of ID. Now I will tell you how to deal with the XPaths. Okay, there was a method, right? The XPath one. This is going to be a very, learning experience for you guys, because XPath is something which you are going to use whether you are beginner, whether you are advanced software engineer, automation test engineer, or anything. Everywhere you will go, XPath will remain with you. Okay, so just be concentrate how to write down the XPath. I will tell you the method of writing down the dynamic XPath, and it's going to be industry acceptable. You are going to write the XPath on the basis of this only. Okay, so for this particular logo, okay, the syntax of XPath goes like, okay, you can see we have an image and then its source, and we have this attribute like alt equal to make my trip. Okay, this is an attribute alt, and its value is make my trip. Okay, so the XPath, how we are going to write the XPath for it? We are going to write the XPath for it like we have a attribute whose value is just a second. I will copy it down, and I will copy this. Make my trip. If you go again here and if you paste it, okay. So we have this thing with us as we had this URL, right? So this is XPath. Okay. Now how to use it? How to write it in a proper syntax? If you come up here and this is your alt. Okay, so at the rate alt. Okay, at the rate symbolizes the attribute whose value equal to make my trip. Okay, then inside the big brackets, or yeah, now this is the XPath. Okay, and you need to provide its node as well. Okay, so node is something what we call this as node. Here node is img. Okay, image. This is an image. So img is a node for this particular tag. Okay, we call it as tag as well, but it's node. Okay, it's node is img, attribute is alt, and its value is make my trip. Okay, so if you come up here and you need to mention node as well, so node would be mentioned like double slashes and img, and then it's node. Okay, so this is going to be the XPath. No double slashes, then node, then at the rate attribute, whatever attribute you are writing down. So we have found it at like alt was present there, and what is its value? We have passed down. I agree. Okay. Now copy this, and if we come up to the script, and in the similar way, okay, we have launched the URL, and we have launched the URL. And what is our fourth step? Fourth step is valid logo of the web page. Okay. So if I come up here and I write it down, validate logo on the web page. Okay, so I will remove this line for as of now, and driver dot find element, yeah, by class, and with the help of XPath this time. Okay, and in the double quotes, we are going to paste our XPath. This is our XPath. Okay, I think spaces are not there. You come up here. Yeah, spaces are not there. Okay, so be accurate, guys, because these things will only work if you are providing your correct locator information. Okay, then only WebDriver is going to find it out. Oh, this is make matter. Sorry. Okay, then in the as last time is displayed method, whether this logo is present or not. Then if it is present, driver dot close. Okay, so this is second test case. Let's run it now. Should work with the IMG as well now. All right, so this test case is passed. Okay, now it's working with IMG. So this is how you write it down your XPath, guys. And you have closed your browser. Yeah, so we discuss web elements today. What are the different types? We have seen two types of web element finding methods. One is One is ID and another one is Xpath. We have seen how to write that down, the dynamic Xpath. This is a dynamic Xpath, okay? And yeah, and we have seen how to check whether the element is present over the web page or not. So this is how we are going to, move forward. So please subscribe to this channel, guys, if you are finding the content useful and it's helping you out, to have some confidence, like you can move from manual testing to automation testing and by following this playlist and following my channel. If you find it out useful, please subscribe to this channel and yeah, stay connected. Please take care. Bye bye.